You know, 2020 has been a really mixed bag for me. Not only has this chair started creaking like crazy whenever I'm recording videos or streaming, but on top of that, just generally the year's been kind of a turd. Wasn't too bad for the first couple of months, but wow, it really went down after that. I mean, my 2020 was going okay for the first 3 months until I got laid off and didn't go back to work until August. And I pretty much wasted all that time laid off because I couldn't get my mind right to make videos. I got the H3 video done, the Hanson video done, and the Hood gaming. Actually, I guess I did all my best work in that period. But I gotta say, the stupidity in the comment section this year has definitely peaked. Like top tier smooth brains, boys. And ladies, apparently I have a lot of women's respect for some reason. I guess I was watching PewDiePie during the right period. Now, with the amount of negative comments I got on some of these videos, I'm not gonna respond to all of them. We're gonna just focus on a couple that I went back and grabbed for fun. Now, I wanna make it clear, please do not go and reply to these comments. Just leave them be, let them stew in their own stupidity because it's not worth any of our time to deal with. Now, this probably should go without saying, but as you'll see later in the video, it's probably warranted. I want to make it clear right now. I'm making this video for the same reason a lot of people make these kind of videos. It's easy content because people are genuinely stupid enough to make it easy for you to make these kind of videos. Like, it's really hilarious how bad people are at making a point against you in the comment section, and I wouldn't be surprised if most of them are the kind of people to make an argument, and then if they were debunked, then play the, oh, well, I was trolling card. Yes, acting stupid to make yourself seem stupid, and then when I fall for you seeming stupid, that makes me stupid. Yes, that's how that works. It's like hitting yourself in the hand with a hammer, and then when somebody says, oh, you just hit yourself in the hand with a hammer. I did it as a joke, though. Haha, got you. Joke's on you. I'll be at the hospital. Very smart. Now, there's no real rhyme or reason to what videos I picked in what order, but what we'll do, I guess, is we'll start with H3. The H3 video I did that got about 50,000 views and, a lot of comments. It was funny how many people's criticism of me was that not only was I not funny, but then they proceeded to joke about my fat head and my small glasses, because that's so much funnier than anything I said in the video or showed in the video. That's such an original joke that there weren't 50 others just like you. Congratulations, you won. And the other thing people seem to get really stuck up on was my points about COVID. All of my points were that Ethan was exaggerating based on the information that was available at the time. He wasn't citing any sources, and he was basing it off of what seemed to be his own just opinion of what was happening. Now, the big bad thing that I apparently did in this video was a downplaying COVID, because I got a lot of comments saying, joke's on you, COVID got worse. You're an idiot. Ha. Funny thing about that is, I never said that I was downplaying. As a matter of fact, I actually stated in the video, I'm not saying this isn't an issue. This is definitely a big issue. My problem was that Ethan was making it way bigger than it really was at the time. Again, keep in mind, at the time, I was going off of what we had information about at the time. You know, the scientist information, the public information, that's what I was going off of. Ethan apparently got out his crystal ball and started predicting that we were going to be the next Italy. So real quick, let's go over the timeline of events, just so we can be clear for any of the smooth brains that are watching this video now. First, Ethan tweets about how the US is going to be like Italy. At the time, the only thing significant about Italy was Italy having a very high death toll percentage. In other words, the number of people dying per person getting sick was very high. It was like between 15 and 20%, somewhere in that range. There was no facts, there was no stats that I could find anywhere at the time to back this up, and he didn't link to them anywhere. So that seemed to be based on pretty much nothing but his own paranoia. And to this day, we still haven't reached the death toll percentage that they had. Have many more people died? Yes. That's not what my point was, though. My point was his focus at the time was on the death toll percentage. That was what I focused on in the video, and I made it extremely clear. But everyone focused on the number of people dead. The thing is, if people would have stopped going out, it would have slowed down. Guess what? I don't have control over that. Ethan predicted something that never happened, never came true, but he predicted it based on seemingly no actual statistical data. But the criticism of me in my video was that COVID got worse. Now you look stupid. A bunch of more people died. So apparently, because I pointed out that his tweet about the death toll percentage was wrong, and it was based on nothing, no information pointed to that whatsoever at the time, apparently I'm the idiot because COVID in general got worse. You got me, boys. I hope you're proud of yourself. You can put a little certificate, print one out online, and just write your name in there. Doesn't matter what the certificate is. I'm sure everybody will feel just as proud of you no matter what, and just hang it up on the fridge for mom to see. It'll be fantastic. I'm pretty sure I even said in the video that COVID was probably going to get worse and that it was something to take seriously. I wasn't taking it lightly. Ethan was saying and doing a lot of ridiculous things that didn't seem to necessarily line up with facts. And if you look at everything that I present in my video, there's a lot of history of that. Ethan has has a tendency of not really doing his due diligence and just running with things. It's happened even more since then. There's plenty of examples, but I'm done with that story. So congratulations on your collective strawmanning.
Durher, we're right. How about instead of making videos, go and debate Destiny and Hassan live? Wait, they'd win. Just like how Destiny scared Keemstar off a podcast before.
Because what I do is make videos. I'm not a stream debater, first of all. Secondly, no one really wins in those because both sides typically end up with their own audiences still just believing what they believed going into it, that the creator that they are attached to was right. Typically, that's how it goes. Except for in extreme situations where someone makes a big oopsie like JonTron. Just look at pretty much any of these debates where two big creators go back and forth with each other. Hardly any of each other's audience changes opinions or anything. They're just kind of stick with the creator they like. The thing here is my opinion would affect their content, so their audience would almost absolutely, regardless of what I say, side with them. So not only could I provide less evidence in real time, but it would just generally be fairly pointless for me. I feel like this was the best course of action, no matter what way you look at it. Then some other genius responded to me with this. No kidding, everybody in their perspective camp are going to back up their own side, dude. Destiny even says that. The point isn't to convince everyone from one side to the other. The point is to convince the small percentage of people who do have an open mind about this can be swayed one way or the other. So claiming that'll just end in herder, your camp will just back you up though, is just a cope to avoid the actual debate and seeing if anything you say actually works against someone who disagrees. So, you know, cope harder. Or they could react to it on stream or in their own video. They can bring all their evidence, their context. There's no real point to me making a stream with somebody if I already said everything I have to say, is there? On top of that, I feel like it's fairly obvious throughout my videos that I put jokes in at a fairly consistent pace because the point is to be entertaining and funny, not necessarily change people's minds about something, but put my opinion or my perspective out there about things. It's not really necessarily about changing people's minds, but maybe putting another opinion out there that's either not being shared or saying it a different way than somebody else while being entertaining about it and hopefully funny. So with all that said, I feel like it should be fairly obvious now that I'm not a debater. That's not what I do. Just like how a journalist can present ideas in an article doesn't mean they're going to be able to debate those same ideas. They're two totally different skills. And while I'm not a journalist, I'm also certainly not a debater. But the fact that you said it's me coping to avoid a debate is hilarious because, first of all, I don't know if Destiny would want a debate, all right? Secondly, even if he wanted a debate, I don't want to. I have no interest. I got my thoughts out in the video. If he wants to know what I think, he could see the video, but he probably doesn't care. And by the way, debating Hassan seems like it'd be kind of pointless because he even admitted, yeah, it's copyright abuse. All the people that responded to this video like this seem like the ones that probably need to cope harder because they're doing a bad job of it.
I wish everyone would give Chris a break. You know he lost his daughter, don't you? Have you no shame? Let him grief.
So are you trying to tell me that his method of grieving is lying about a bunch of other people online? That seems like a really good way to grieve. I'm gonna really take that criticism to heart.
Maturity would be nice.
I'm not even sure if this was directed at me or not. I think it was, so I'm gonna respond to it like it is. It'd also be nice if the award-winning journalist, in his, 50s or 60s, would also be mature, rather than the guy who makes comedy content, making jokes and continuing to actually still debunk the things that the journalist says, because apparently the journalist can't cover his own tracks.
Dude, Chris was memeing you and you acted like he was being serious. Oof.
Yes, Unirock. Isn't he the guy that got Just Destiny, the YouTuber, mixed up with Destiny, the streamer, and did a whole stream about a situation that Just Destiny was in, thinking he was the other Destiny? Okay, wasn't he also the guy defending without a crystal ball until she started, like, doxing people or whatever? I don't think we can take your information for much. We're gonna just move on.
Is this what you do at the time you're allotted? My first visit to your channel? It is not a contribution.
This comment is worded so weirdly, I really don't know what they're trying to say. What do you mean allotted? The time I've been allotted? I have a set amount of hours in a day, 24, just like everybody else. And I actually extend my day a little bit more than other people because I get 4 hours of sleep a night rather than 8. Not sure what you mean by allotted. I'm not in prison. There's nobody like telling me how many hours a day I have to do things. It's a free country. It's a free world. I can stay up as late as I want. I'm a big boy now. My first visit to your channel, it's not a contribution. I mean, do you mean the comments not a contribution? Viewing the channel's not a contribution? My videos aren't contributions to society? I mean, I'm not sure which one you mean, but I think you're wrong on pretty much all counts because your comment is an interaction. Your view is still a view. And the video actually corrects a lot of misinformation that Hansen put out there. So I'm not quite sure what you mean. You seem to be wrong on all counts.
Ghost Adventures is one of the best shows on Travel Channel. It has many, many people who love it and go to Zach's museum. It is way better without Nick Groff, because if he kept going, he would probably have to divorce his wife, because that's the real reason why he left. And in my opinion, it's way better without him. And you should not be trying to bring someone down just because you don't like your own self.
I love how the first sentence is just a bunch of facts that don't actually conflict with anything I said in the video. I mean, it really... I guess they were trying to make me feel bad because I criticized something so many people love so passionately. And then the second half of the comment is immediately into somebody's personal life. Like, I never even mentioned anybody's names, let alone attacked them personally. But this person mentioned somebody I never mentioned, right? And then brings their wife into it as if they were somehow involved. His wife is the real reason he left. Okay, who is he? I have no idea. And then apparently I really don't like myself because I'm trying to bring Zach Baggins down. I criticized his TV show and the marketing of his museum. And apparently I don't like myself, and that's why I criticized Zach Baggins' TV show and museum. Darn, you figured me out. I loathe myself. That's why I criticize the stupidity of others, because they're not still stupid whether I say something or not. I couldn't possibly be that I have fun laughing at stupidity.
You just hate the show because of that. You made a video saying crap and Ghost Hunter are better? They've been exposed they are faked.
I don't think I ever said that Ghost Hunters wasn't fake. Personally, I don't believe that any of these shows are all that real. I think there's a lot of stuff that's being faked for the attention and the drama of it. What I did say and what I tried to convey in this video was that Ghost Adventures is way more obviously fake than any of these other shows I've seen. It's almost like they don't even try to cover it up.
It's funny how Hood got banned and came back and still got more subs, lol.
A YouTuber with like 250,000 subscribers got banned and a whole 10,000 subscribers came back. Oh, you've destroyed me. You know, it's crazy. It's almost like I could care less what his sub count is. If I think he's stupid, I think he's stupid.
I've been watching Hood forever. Sounds like Internet Unwind hasn't laughed a singular day in his life. If you ever laughed at least one singular time at Hood's bullshittery, then you enjoyed his videos. His new channel is Call Me Hood, by the way. Enjoy if you've never heard of Hood.
Yep, you got me. Despite all the jokes in that video, despite me actually literally laughing in the video at the stupidity of things that were happening because of Hood, never laughed a day in my life. Oh, indigestion. That's nonsense. You a dum-dum. Just because you think something somebody says is funny once doesn't mean everything they say is going to be funny down the road. Just because you like one thing somebody does doesn't mean you're going to like everything else they do. That's complete nonsense by a devoted fan. I'm not quite sure why they mentioned his new channel name, as if I didn't in the video go to that channel and then play videos from that channel. I guess maybe they just didn't finish the video. Ugh, I guess they just didn't finish it, and then they wanted to direct people to his new channel. If you enjoy his videos based on my video where I display them from that channel.
You know he's faking getting mad, and yet you still accuse him of not being able to take out what he dishes?
I guess this person lacks the ability to not only read tone, but understand the words that are clearly being said the way they're being said. In that video, I was pretty blatant that I'm skeptical he was actually playing a character, and this sounds more like an excuse for bad behavior to me. And in that video, I explained why that excuse doesn't really hold up anyway, because it still doesn't change what he did. Also, when a creator messes up, or I don't know, makes a random live stream out of the blue to complain about me making my videos about them like Hood did, and then deletes the video, and he seems to have deleted it thinking I wasn't going to see it, but I was linked pretty early on to the stream and just scrolled back a little bit and caught the whole thing. It was quite a show. He had nothing of value to say besides, this guy has no subs, so his criticism is invalid. His quality of his video is so good. This is stupid. He puts so much editing in. This is dumb. What a shocker that his fans would echo that mentality, but still say that he's playing a character. But wait, he's running for public office. Would he still be playing a character right now? He went on stream and basically said everything he would have said in character, except with less N-words. It's stupid that I put effort into my content. I have high quality video and I have high quality editing. Because I don't get enough views to justify it. Those were his main arguments. So basically, my content is too good for my subscriber count. It was actually a compliment from him by accident.
Never heard of. I've been a fan of Hood for years, just for his prank calls. They're legendary. Now, am I defending his questionable actions? No. However, for you to call out his lack of fame and notoriety, that's kind of like a pot calling a kettle black situation. Wasn't a fan of the skits, girlfriend pranks, stories, or diss tracks, but to ignore how great his prank calls were is ridiculous. I still go back and rewatch some of them, or find re-uploaded once by his fans for a good laugh. No other type of YouTube content made me consistently laugh like those calls did. Calling out his non-lighthearted style sounds like a snowflake to me.
Now, out of this whole massive comment, there's only two little things to point out. One, never heard of was not directed at you individually, buddy. I hate to tell you this, but never heard of was directed at the people that would be seeing the video. It was partial clickbait, but also it is true because almost nobody remembers who Hood is because he hasn't been relevant in years. And the fact that I called out his non-lighthearted style, no, you seem to have misunderstood. I'm not quite sure how. It was pretty blatant in the video. But anyway, the point was that he downplays what he did in these videos as just being prank calls. It's just a prank. If I walk up and punch somebody in the face, that's okay. It was just a prank, bro. The point was that his prank calls, typically the joke was that he cussed somebody out, or that he tried to offend them. That's the entirety of the joke. Just annoying the piss out of somebody until they hang up, or calling some dude and telling him that his girl's cheating on him with him, and then never telling him that it's a joke, possibly destroying a relationship. I hate to tell you, but that kind of goes beyond just being a prank. That's messing with people's personal lives. For instance, repeatedly calling a movie theater and cussing out the staff, and that's it, over and over and over again, that's actually legally harassment. And as much as Hood has trained his fans not to believe the law matters, it does.
1K views, huh? This didn't take off like you thought it would, did you?
I will never understand why so many of the general YouTube audience seem to think that numbers really matter in situations like this, as if that my making a video about something I thought was interesting really matters when it comes to how many views they ended up getting. Like, sure, would I have liked it to get more? Maybe, but you know, oh well, it happens. See, I make videos about things I want to talk about. It doesn't matter how many views it gets in all reality, I didn't expect either one of these videos to break 500 views, and the fact that they did is just all gravy. I made these videos because it's an interesting topic to talk about, and I thought it was funny. Guess what? I was right. But I gotta thank you for the super condescending comment that really does nothing for anyone ever anywhere.
Hey, I really liked the video, and I think you presented a lot of really needed critiques. The point-by-point debunking was pretty cool. However, I think the way you mocked African American vernacular was kind of racist and definitely detracted from the rest of the video, which actually provided real and informed commentary. Great video, but maybe skip the AAVE bashing next time.
Now, this is another comment from somebody I believe meant well and didn't mean to sound so accusatory by saying that it came off as racist for me to criticize his mispronunciation of words. But it's hard for me to take saying that I'm bashing the African American community just lying down. Despite how I felt about elements of this comment, I try to respond as respectfully as possible while also getting my thoughts across.
Not sure about Australia, haha, but I was thinking more of the create. In AAVE, it can be common to stress the first consonant/syllable of a word like that. But in any case, whether it's racist or not, I definitely think it detracted from the video's message in the sense that it seemed like a very superficial complaint which watered down some of the really good, substantial commentary that you had for the rest of the video. You feel?
Now, I want to break down what actually happened, but at first I want to address that second half of the comment. Well, as I actually noted in the video, this was a reference to the original video I made on him years ago. So this was in the video as kind of like a throwback reference for anybody that's seen that video. It wasn't just pointlessly thrown in the video. There was multiple reasons for it. For one, highlighting the level of intelligence of the person that we're supposed to be taking this COVID information from. The man can't pronounce the words spinach, create, or Australia, but we're supposed to take information from him about the cure to the coronavirus. No idea how this went over this guy's head. He's clearly got like a personal bias that's making him feel that these things that I'm saying are meaning something different than they actually mean, I guess, because in all reality, it was just to highlight a few things and also be a reference to the past. It wasn't just about him no speak good, it was about him dum-dum. Now, according to this person, it's very common in African-American vernacular to emphasize the first consonant or syllable of a word. The problem with this logic is that's not what he does at all. The first consonant of the word is C, and the first syllable of the word is CRE, or C-R-E. Now, so if he's emphasizing this, and that's how this works, then why is he moving letters around? Because that's not what it is. Which leads me to believe they actually don't know what they're talking about, or that they're incapable of explaining it, which doesn't really help anything. Another really weird instance of this argument being used is when this guy basically says because slavery existed and people were taken from Africa to America and became African Americans, he was never supposed to have learned English to begin with. So despite the fact that he was raised in America speaking English, this doesn't mean anything about his intelligence. No, it does. It definitely does.
The fact that you're trying to get big by bringing other YouTubers down is kind of sad. That's why you're not going to get anywhere in life.
Thank you so much for the helpful advice, Jesus, but I'm gonna have to respectfully disagree because this comment makes zero sense in defense of Hood. His content that he blew up off of and he's so well known for is prank calls, but not just prank calls where he would call and cuss people out and try and frustrate them, aggravate them, piss them off, or offend them. Not just annoy, not just make jokes. No, it was just about getting as like a shock value reaction out of people. But it's not like he's calling them back and saying, hey, by the way, all that was a prank. No, he's just hurting people and then moving on with his day, leaving them in disarray. So while this dude was actively impacting people's daily lives, I made a video talking about him doing that, and I'm the bad guy. Okay, just so you know, critical thinking skills like that are exactly why you're not going to get anywhere in life. This is so much fun. I should have made fun of random commenters a long time ago.
A bit rich for you to laugh at how he mispronounces words when you yourself seem to say nuclear instead of nuclear and so on in your other videos.
You know, this might have actually been a really decent point if it wasn't for the fact that the word is so commonly mispronounced. This is a very common mispronunciation in the US. Not like Spanish or I'll show ya. We're talking very different scales here. And not to mention, like I said earlier, I really don't understand how people misunderstood the reason I put that in there. Like I'm gonna play the clip right now to show you how blatant it is.
Down on a salad with kale in it and spinach. Tom Hanks and his wife said, hey, we got the coronavirus. They're in I'll show you.
Truly a master of the English language. I've got this really weird feeling, and I can't explain why, but the last few minutes has me really questioning his credibility as a source of information. I don't know how much more blatantly obvious I could make it that what I was saying is, I don't think he's very smart. It's probably not a good idea to listen to his advice about a massive pandemic.
I don't understand people like this guy. What's the point of making a whole video about a man who's not worried about you? He needs content. This guy doesn't have talent and he needs attention.
8 people liked that comment. For me, comments like these are actually really entertaining because it shows how many people just don't understand or can't grasp the situation. They have no understanding of what's actually going on. Has no content, needs talent, needs attention. You have no idea how much editing goes into something like this, how much research goes into something like this. You have no idea how much any of this takes to do anything. You clearly lack the talent to even put a profile picture on your account. Not to mention, after I put out these videos, he made like a 30-minute stream on me that he promptly deleted so that there wouldn't be any evidence of it. I hate to tell you, but I think that kind of means he is bothered by me. I didn't think he'd ever see the video. I didn't care if he saw the video. It wasn't to get under his skin or something, but the fact that he saw it and then reacted like that is infinitely more funny, especially now that you left this comment.
Who's here while Hood's live streaming right now? Bro, I'm mad and pissed it got deleted. What happened? Hood was talking about how this YouTuber kept talking about him and to stop talking about.
How on earth did this comment get a like? I made one video that I split into 2 parts and uploaded a weekend apart from each other that covered entirely separate topics and covered all of the story that I wanted to cover. Apparently, I'm obsessed. That was one of the things that Hood wanted to talk about in the stream, was how I keep making videos about him. Even though it was 2 videos 1 week apart that were really one video, and I even said it in both videos that it was one video split in half.
Acting like you in love with him. Real talk. Yeah, you reaching, my guy.
The number of comments I got from people calling me a dick rider and saying I'm obsessed with him is absolutely insane, because they seem to fail to realize that by continually just gargling his ball sack, they're kind of really the ones that are just dick riding, quote unquote.
Yo, imagine making fun of somebody that's trying to change and then makes fun of the way he says words. I could never, but it's a different story if I make fun of you for being an overweight pig who thinks he's gonna change something with a video.
So let me get this straight. I made fun of his lack of intelligence while talking about conspiracy theories and how to cure people of coronavirus with a pot of boiling water. And that's equivalent to you calling me a fat pig because I made fun of someone you like. The smoothness on that one is just... Look, I don't want to sound like a broken record, but Hood's content that made him popular was prank calls, where he was calling people and harassing them in their personal lives. You don't get what the point is of making a whole video about people who are not worried. Well, they weren't worried about him until he called them and harassed them. That was his content. Well, my content is talking about him doing that. Captain Morgan, you're not the smoothest anymore. This guy's got you beat. So let's go ahead and wrap this up with one final little thing I want to point out about Hood. His fans seem to have a lot of blind allegiance. I don't think any of them really know much about him besides his content, and they take a lot of his words at face value, even though he's supposedly a character and joking around most of the time. But I don't think any of them realize what he was recently arrested for shortly after doing his live stream on me.
Police have made an arrest in a sexual assault of a minor. David Mitchell was arrested today. He's been booked at Douglas County Corrections for first-degree sexual assault of a minor.
What makes this even funnier is that he claims this is once again him being framed by unseen forces to silence him so he can't expose them, but he has nothing to expose anyone for, or else he would probably just do it already. And he hasn't talked about having any secret information that he hasn't released, so there's not really much to that, is there?
So back when I was on YouTube, the Freemasons, first off, they tried to recruit me. They offered me, I think, like $250,000. It was $250,000 for my YouTube channel. $250,000, where they will own the rights to the YouTube channel, and I would still be able to upload. Now I would act as in like an employee on the website. They wanted to like limit what I could say, and once I denied them, they terminated my channel. They got rid of every single YouTube channel I had. Well, they recently tried to recruit me again. And I sat down, they came out to my house, I talked to them, and I turned them down again. And ever since then, I've been going through hell. So that's pretty much what happened. Members on the city council, they're all Freemasons. So they thought, okay, we're going to get you to become a Freemason. If you do win city council race, at least you'll be in the club. The thing is, when you walk inside of a courthouse, you're walking inside of a Freemason lodge. That is a lodge. It is an arena. How long am I facing if convicted? 70 years altogether. 70 years.
What's even crazier, if you actually read some of the articles or watch some of the news videos about the situation, supposedly Hood was put under $1 million bail with a $100,000 bond. I believe I remember that correctly. Supposedly the reason being that this person was not only an underage person of 14 to 15 years old at the time, but supposedly also has severe mental disabilities.
Victim's IQ ranges between 55 and 66.
Courts have often ruled those with an IQ around 70 aren't competent to understand right from wrong and to go to trial. This victim's IQ is less than that.
And the inappropriate contact allegedly happened multiple times during that year. I'm not sure if I'll be able to find the article, but one article I read actually claimed that it was because they lived in the same foster home together.
Approximately 6 years ago, when she was placed in a foster home between March 2014 through September of 2014, when she was approximately 14 to 15 years old. Her foster brother, the defendant.
But sure, the Freemasons did it. And with that being said, of course, as always, I gotta thank the patron saints: Bo Blacks, John Swan, This Is Ewan, Alex, Lady Zubat, Master Roshi, Logan Lotion, Panthers Gamers, and Paul Wentworth. And thank you so much to everybody else who gave this video a chance. I really appreciate it. If you could, like it if you liked it, please consider subscribing, and I'll see you in the next one. Have a happy and hopefully safe and healthy new year.